What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. We are going to be predicting UFC Contender Series Season 6, Week 6. For this week, we have 5 matches, as always, 1 women's match, 4 men's matches, and we'll be predicting them full card-wise, running through all 5, who we think is going to win, breaking it down. Either way, let's get right into it. This is probably the closest matchup-based Contender Series I've seen so far this year, so hopefully we'll predict them right. I feel like it's more kind of like a women's MMA, lower level women's MMA at this point when predicting these fights, because I feel like they can go either way. Sometimes, like last week, we had 4 underdogs win. It was absolutely insane. It's not even a point anymore. You might as well. I won $100 luckily from bets, so just bet like the underdogs by finish or whatever, or just bet the underdogs in general. Likelihood you might win. You know, that dude on Gianni or whatever his name is on or Yanni for on the UFC thing hasn't gotten one right, so yeah, rough time for that guy. But yeah, let's get right into the fight. We have Alex Morgan versus Blake Bilder. Morgan, last fight was a win over Maged Hamo, I think is how you say his name. Has fought some tough competition in his career. Lost his TKO belt, is the name of the company, against Charles Jourdain. So he has fought a pretty good UFC caliber guy and Charles Jourdain. He's very patient on the feet, throws a lot of 1-2 feints, and then likes to connect from there. He has some good power, would probably need to add some more strikes to his shot selection. His power is almost a one-shot hit, which is why he doesn't keep a high output on the feet. So that's why he feints quite a bit, so he can set up that one shot and knock you down and finish you off. For Bilder, last fight was a win against Regivaldo Carvalho. Has good jiu-jitsu, is a jiu-jitsu black belt, has high output on the feet but not much pop in his shots, leaves himself open when punching, has pretty solid movement on the feet. But yeah, let's get into the breakdown of the fight when they match up. I'm going to choose Morgan by KO for this fight. Bilder got knocked down multiple times in his last fight before coming back and winning it. I don't think he'll be able to take shots Morgan in this fight. I think Morgan's a little bit powerful for him. He definitely has more power than Carvalho. As Carvalho was loading up a lot in his shots, Morgan will just pick him apart. Bilder does have a chance to win this fight by sub, but I do see Morgan winning it early. So yeah, that's my pick for this one. There we go. Morgan. For that fight, let's move on up the card. It is very late, and I am very tired, in case you haven't noticed why I'm stumbling over my words quite a bit. But yeah, let's move on up the card to the women's MMA fight. I believe, I don't know what is this in? I don't know what division this is in. They're small ladies though. Viktoriya Dudakova versus Maria Silva. For this fight, Dudakova, last fight was a win over Marina Shatova. She has good wrestling and submissions. Very, very strong. Seems like a tough lady too. Has solid stand-up, solid power. Isn't the most technical, but sets up her takedowns pretty well. She timed her takedown in her last fight, I believe, pretty well against Marina Shatova. She timed it really well, especially for a women's MMA. That's pretty good. For Silva, last fight was a win over Yelena Wozniak. She's very strong also. Solid counter puncher on the feet with some pop in her shots. Has great jiu-jitsu but does not have good takedown defense, but has good offensive grappling herself and can often get out of positions due to the threat of the submission, which is really good for her. Similar fighters here. I have seen Dudakova get taken down also. Same with Silva. Like, they've been on their backs. They've reversed position. So this can be anybody's game at this point. It's a women's MMA match, lower level women's MMA match, and combine that with freaking Contender Series, it's a mess. So for how they match up, the matchup is very close. I can see both of them winning. I think the way Silva wins is maybe hurting Dudakova and then grappling her and then submitting her, which sounds kind of unlikely. I do think Dudakova could be stronger and has good takedown selection, but the jiu-jitsu from Silva might be a factor in here. If Silva tries to transition to get out of a takedown, I can see Dudakova rear necking choking her because she's very strong. And I'm just going to say second round sub for Dudakova. I believe in Silva's last fight against Yelena Wozniak, she got taken down, was taken down, put on her back. She tried to get up and immediately went on her back. Not went on her back, but went towards so Wozniak could get on her back. Oh my goodness. So Wozniak kind of had a choke in, but I think if that happens again, Dudakova will get it in without a doubt. She's super strong. I think she'll get it in immediately. I think a similar situation will happen for this next fight. So I'm going to go with Dudakova by second round submission. Moving on up the card, we have, oh my goodness, let's not do that. There we go. Moving on up the card, we have Rodrigo Lidio versus Mateusz Rebecki. Lidio, last fight was a win over Arthur Lima. Has one punch KO power, is patient until he is not. Very wild with his hands, can be open when he throws. Worrying on the ground, has solid takedown defense. Rebecki, last fight was a win over Arkadly Osipian. Good grappling, very good athlete, so he can scramble pretty well. He's very fast in those scrambles also. Has high output on the feet and has some solid power with his shots. This fight, I think Lidio does have a chance due to his really good power, but I think the fact that he's super open on the feet and is not great on the ground will be at his detriment here. Lidio does have some great upset potential here, but I'm going to take Rebecki by a second round TKO in a crucifix position on the ground. I think they'll trade shots until Rebecki lands good, and then he will shoot and then open up the second round with the takedown also, moving into a crucifix very easily and then ending the fight there. So I do have, Rebecki by second round TKO in the crucifix position. So we'll go there. And let's move on up the card. I have to move my notes out of the way so we can skip. Okay, very interesting matchup. Very hard one to predict too. Matej Penaz versus Sedriques Dumas. I hope I said that right. Penaz, last fight was a win against Gianni Malio. Is super long, has good power in his hands, and has some nice kicks. He has good takedown defense. Most of his opponents get away with clinching most of the match, at least recently. Dumas, last fight was a win over Aaron Highbaugh. Has good stand-up and big power. Has some solid grappling also. Is a little patient on the feet, but can't open up sometimes. When I say a little patient, he's kind of like out of range, like feinting jabs. It's not like he is actively going after people trying to KO him all the time. If there's a threat somewhere there, he'll be a little bit more patient on the feet. For Penaz, when I said the clinching. The clinching recently, a lot of guys have been holding him against the fence. I could actually see Dumas doing that in this fight. But recently in a lot of this fights, they'll just hold him against the fence and then just lay there and just put his weight on him. They haven't been taking him down either, which is pretty good. He has pretty solid takedown defense also. Good for him. But for this matchup, this is a very, very close matchup. I would call it a coin flip because they are both good on the feet. I'm going to give the power advantage to Dumas, but I do think Penaz is longer and has relatively good power as well. If not similar power, I don't know. It's hard to tell. I think if I were to edge it to someone in power, I think it would be Dumas. Dumas has slightly better power than Penaz, in my opinion, but it's very close. If Dumas wins, it will end up being the first round. If Penaz wins, I can see him winning in the second round. I'm going to edge this to Dumas, but this is an absolute coin flip. I'm not confident in it at all. I think Penaz can overwhelm guys and pick them apart, especially with that high output that he has. Yeah. So Penaz, I think if he's able to, so what Dumas should try to do here is put him against the fence and then back away and then just tee off there. For Penaz, he just needs to walk this dude down, maybe strike at range a little bit, pick him apart, try and hurt him, and then just go and put on a big output on him. He throws quite a bit of strikes. Like he'll wait for a couple seconds, jab, and then just go. So that should be his plan here. But I'm going to edge it to Dumas. I am not super confident. SD Dumas, whatever they call him. But yes, I'm going to edge it to Dumas. I don't know who the underdog is. What does it say the underdog is? It's Dumas. Yeah, in a coin flip, go to a underdog pick. Might as well, right? Not a big underdog, but still an underdog nonetheless. I believe the next fight is our main event of the evening. I do not pick Henrique here. Last fight, Yasaku Kinoshita versus Jose Henrique. Kinoshita, last fight was a flying knee KO win against Akshiro Miyama. Has good hands, quite a bit of power in them. Can be patient on the feet. A good counter striker. Probably does well against him also. Counter striker could also be. I don't even know what that. He's a good counter striker. Jesus, my notes are all messed up. I don't know what the hell. What the hell this is. But for Henrique, last fight was a win against Pedro Oliveira. Very tall. He will be dropping a weight class in this fight also, so that'll be very interesting. He does have a little bit of weight on his side, so we'll see if he's a lot more leaner, a lot more muscular in this fight. Doesn't have great power in his hands, puts together shots really well, sets up with his jab. Is only 19 years old, so he's a lot to learn. 19 is absolutely crazy for mixed martial artists, especially professional. It's insane. But, I mean, we also saw with Brian Battle, like, it didn't seem like he had some crazy power at that division either. But I feel like he just developed, or not, I don't know if it was even developed, but more of he had that power at welterweight. I don't know if that transfers over. This dude's a big dude. He's a longer dude. I feel like he's going to be a little slower on the feet. But I think Kinoshita is going to win. I can just see him walking down Henrique during the fight. Even though he is the bigger guy, I can still see him walking him down, putting his power to good use, and use Henrique's weight cut as an advantage here. I think he will be a little slower. I think a lot of these guys might be a little faster than him. If, say, Kinoshita is relatively patient or like wary on the feet, I can see Henrique putting it on him a little bit because he is. I think he will be the longer guy without a doubt. Was that 80-inch reach advantage? I'm not too sure what Kinoshita's reach advantage is, but I don't think it's 80 inches. But I do. That's a way Henrique could win. But in this case, Henrique's super young. He still has a lot to learn. Kinoshita should probably just put the pace on in this fight, walk him down, and then just tee off on him. You don't know what the weight cut could do to him. Ruin the chin. Could make him better. Take the chin, because he did have a pretty good chin up a division. Take the chin. Slow for the division. A lot of things that could be in effect here that we don't know because he is moving down. But I am going to take Kinoshita by a KO in this fight. If not, maybe he'll probably just win by a decision. But I think it'll be a KO. Hopefully he doesn't like try to stomp on someone's head like he did illegally in Ryzen. Stomping KOs crazy, but yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. These were pretty hard to find, especially some of these fights were pretty hard to find, especially Yasaku Kinoshita. All of it was in freaking like Japanese. Hard to find, but hope you guys enjoyed this breakdown at least. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do for the rest of the week. I think the next card is what? UFC 279 next Saturday. I already put the full card predictions for UFC Paris for this weekend. I don't know what other videos I'm going to do during the week. I don't even know what kind of matchups are coming up. Probably have quite a bit to do, or quite a bit to figure out at least. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys next time.